Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. My name's Neil, and it's time for another episode of Would I Lie to You? This one's going to be a little interesting, folks, because it's one of the most recommended episodes that I receive in the comments. I've been meaning to get around to it for a while. I'm finally doing it, but what makes it unusual is it's an episode that I'm supposed to tune into, not for the guests. Apparently there is a story that Lee tells in this episode that is definitely worth listening and reacting to, so I'm going to do that. That being said, Richard Osman is in this episode. I've become well familiar with him. I think he's incredibly intelligent and humorous. And Daisy May Cooper from, was it series 10 of Taskmaster as well. The other two guests I'm unfamiliar with. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments below. You guys are really good at that. I don't remember everybody I've been exposed to on the British comedy scene quite yet. But yeah, Daisy May Cooper, Richard Osman, but the real reason we're watching this episode is for one of Lee's stories. So let's get into it. This is episode 6 from series 12. Let's see what this one's all about.
On David Mitchell's team tonight, a man whose list of TV credits is almost as long as his inside leg measurement. It's Richard Osman! And an actress who once had a job peeling potatoes in a chip shop in Bolton. But she had a dream, and one day it came true. They let her batter the fish. It's Diane Morgan.
Oh, wait. Was Diane on it?
Star of this country, who once worked as a
Do I know
barmaid
her from
in a pub,
Taskmaster 2?
which explains
Do I
why
know her
haven't
from
been able to
Taskmaster
get her
2? She's
attention
very
all
familiar
evening.
looking.
It's Daisy May Cooper.
I definitely remember Daisy May.
A TV star who appears alongside Matt LeBlanc. Now, to be honest, I was hoping this intro would end with the words Courtney Cox. It's Top Gear's Rory Reid.
The new batch of Top Gear. The batch nobody watched.
Instead of rock, paper, scissors, I prefer to play my own version of the game, which is worm, pigeon, shotgun.
What is superior to what?
It's pretty obvious, isn't it? Pigeon
What beats shotgun?
Pigeon eat worm.
How does a worm beat a shotgun?
By crawling into the barrel. I mean, how do you think?
What's their hand actions?
Well, shotgun,
Yeah.
easy.
Whoa, that's too big.
Oh,
No, no, he's lying. No, it's got to be a quick 1, 2, 3 motion. So you could do worm, you could do shotgun, and you could do pigeon, but...
The pigeon shoots the worm with the shotgun.
You're deliberately trying to make this complicated.
I just want
he's
the
genuinely
truth. I
stupid.
just best of 3.
This is 3.
I've got my own technique, by the way. I'm not going to use my hands.
Now, you've been
I
warned
think you
about
know
this.
which one I'm going to do, don't you? It's not a shotgun.
It's not even a worm, is it? Let's be honest.
1, 2, 3.
I'll tell you what, we all thought it was ridiculous. We're all into it now, aren't we? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Worm.
Richard needs just 1 win. He'll have victory.
Yeah,
If
Rob,
Lee-
I think they're following it.
It's a shame we
Nobody's
won't now have
lost.
time to play Would I Lie to You?
1, 2, 3.
Shotgun!
It's still a lie.
Yeah, I thought it was a lie until we played it.
Yeah.
And when we played it, I thought, panning out this.
It is
A lie.
a lie.
Richard's smart enough to make up movements on that on the go.
I am in an ongoing feud with a cat who walked 100 miles to torment me.
Whoa.
Whose is the cat?
It's feral. The cat is essentially a criminal in my eyes. He breaks into my house.
He breaks it. How do you mean breaks into your house?
Is anyone going to do the cat burglar joke, or we're letting it go?
First of all, he just walked in through the cat flap because I have my own cat.
Right, that's not breaking in.
I now have a more advanced cat flap, which doesn't quite stop him 100% of the time.
You've chipped your 2 cats
Yeah.
with a chip cat flap,
Yeah.
but the feral cat sometimes
Are you
hacks
Dr.
in.
Zoo?
The batteries in the cat flap only last 6 weeks. So he systematically tests the cat flap, and then when they run out, it releases completely, and then he can gain
Does
access.
he sit on the outside looking at other cats going, I can wait?
I think we need to be asking about the 100 miles.
He eats their food, and then he sleeps in their bed.
No.
So is it like a sort of violent Goldilocks?
You said 100 miles.
Yes, I did.
Oh yeah, I have to lie about that too.
I trapped it, caught it, took it to the local vet. They then said, we'll release it. I said, you can't release it near my house because it will just come right back.
Right.
And that's when they said, yep, we'll get the RSPCA to take it to a cat sanctuary 100 miles away.
How do you know it's not got a family? Say you don't.
I do. If it does have a family, it doesn't like them very much because it lives with me.
They could be worried sick.
Maybe the RSPCA lied and just let it out.
6 weeks of bliss, of no feral cat. I was quite sad that Mark Dennis was no longer around.
Who?
Mark Dennis.
Who is Mark Dennis?
Mark Dennis is the cat.
And why Mark
So
Dennis?
bad you named him twice.
Because the cat was a black cat. He was a dark menace, but I didn't want to paint him with that brush, so I decided to soften it a little bit and call him Mark Dennis.
Oh, that's actually
He found
clever.
his way back.
He's
From
thought about that.
100 miles away.
Do you know for a fact they took him 100 miles away?
No, I believe them, though, because I kept in touch with them. I was worried about the cat. The last few times when it had burgled my house, it had a slight infection in its lungs, and it would snore loudly at night, like a fully grown man would snore.
You would hear it, you break into the kitchen,
Yeah.
beat up your cats, eat all the food, and then have a really loud sleep.
Yes.
When you put it like that, it sounds ridiculous.
I think it's true. I think it's true.
When Mark Dennis returned, because it must have been quite dramatic.
And noisy.
Sorry, you're taking me back.
Yeah.
And it was the snoring. I thought, it can't be Mark Dennis because he's 100 miles away. And then he did the usual thing.
Oh no! It's real.
He ran for the cat flap and ran into the garden.
But then he's naming it, and it's got a lung infection. I think it's true.
I think it is too. Or he's an incredibly good liar.
It was very true.
Yeah. Oh, I thought he was smug there for a minute, like he had fooled them all for a minute. But no, that was true.
Please welcome this week's special guest, Jamie.
Jamie looks like a pirate
So,
who's been told to get into nice clothes.
This is my ex-boyfriend, Jamie, and I used to put sleeping pills in my parents' tea so I could sneak him into the house.
Daisy, when did you go out with Jamie?
When I was about 14,
Where did you get the sleeping pills?
my mother had them.
But they weren't prescription. They weren't like some hardcore thing from...
No. I would administer, especially when they're watching Inspector Morse, so I'd say, can I make you a cup of tea?
How many times did you do this? How often did you do this as a tactic?
I think for the duration of our relationship,
Which was...
about a year.
what was it about Jamie that was so unacceptable to your waking parents?
He was a very angry goth.
Did you think you were coming on Jeremy Kyle?
I don't know who Jeremy Kyle is.
They poodle off up to bed. At this point, he's finished work at the Chinese restaurant, so I sneak him
Oh, nice
round
detail,
the back
nice detail.
and the back gate. We just listen to Iron Maiden very quietly and write goth poetry together.
I've never heard that euphemism.
No, yeah. They woke up once, and
You went and got the chloroform and the hanky.
Mum walks into the room. My dad said, "Get out my house, you pillock."
This is Jamie, and after a mix-up in a tattoo parlour, we now have each other's tattoo.
What?
What was going to be your tattoo, and what tattoo did you end up with?
I wanted a tattoo of a crescent moon, quite classy. Instead, I got a picture of Popeye's face.
And how did the mix-up occur?
We were on holiday in Thailand together, bit of a lads booze up. I think it's probably Sam, my other friend, who said, let's all get tattoos.
Yeah, that sounds like Sam. That's a kind of...
It's a very Sam thing.
Total Sam move.
When was this, Rory?
Late 2000s, early 2000s, my bad.
The early 2000s.
Well, the late 2000s would be nearly 1,000 years.
Oh, David Mitchell. David Mitchell.
And there's this little parlour, and they're used to tourists coming in all the time, and they have multiple beds.
Classy.
And not that kind of establishment. And then you choose out of a book what you want. I'll have the number 4, Jamie wanted the number 5, or whatever
With
it
rice
was.
or...?
Not that kind of establishment.
So it is neither a restaurant nor a brothel. The kind of establishment it is a tattoo parlour with beds and a low standard of administrative competence.
You'd have gone out of the storm on this stag weekend, David.
Who's more upset by this outcome, you or Jamie?
Me, by far. He's now got a classy crescent moon on his back. I've got Popeye. Are you not following this?
This is Jamie. While staying at an Airbnb, I mistook him for an intruder and attacked him with a whisk. The Airbnb was in Rye.
And why were you staying in an Airbnb in Rye?
Because I like to get away from my family, full stop.
Why did you
Get married in the first place? I don't know. I've asked myself every day the same question.
Why did you choose a whisk over a knife?
You wouldn't want a knife, you wouldn't want to kill him. You'd have a whisk, you could just beat him.
Oh, Rob. You and your dad jokes.
I mistook him for an intruder because I subsequently found out that on the email that was sent by the person who owned the house, they said, oh, by the way, someone's coming to have a look at the wood-burning stove. I hope that's OK. They'll only be 20 minutes or whatever. I hear a noise downstairs and I get worried. I think someone's down there.
Because the noise is sort of...
Sorry, well, you are Welsh. Are you asking me the time? I see this figure. I panic.
I'll whip you to a soft peak.
Oh, I definitely didn't say that. Never say that to a strange man in your house, David. Whacked him on the back really hard. Just kept whacking him and whacking him.
Just straight in, went to the kitchen, got the hand, batter.
No, there's no batter involved.
I'm going to go tattoo.
It doesn't ring true.
OK.
You know that if it's not Daisy and not Rory, that means it's Lee.
Thank you for spelling it out, but yeah.
I'm Jamie, and I used to sneak into Daisy's house.
Awesome. That's hilarious. Listen to Iron Maiden softly.
I was genuinely invited to Harry and Meghan's wedding today, but I said no because I had to come here and do this.
Wow.
Why were you invited?
Well, that, David, is as much of a shock to me as it is to you.
Do you know, for example, Prince Harry or Meghan Markle?
Well, I've met Prince Harry and he was very nice and he did say that he was a fan of this show.
If this is true, it's a bit of a blow to me and Rob. Because
Yes.
Well, this is...
I wasn't invited. Maybe Rob was as well.
I really can't say.
I think you know, if Rob was invited,
Yes.
he would be able to say.
Because as soon as I got the invite, I met Prince Harry and I know he's a fan of the show. So I immediately assumed that you two had been invited as well.
Yeah.
And I phoned you first and I put the phone down. Because I didn't want to ask in case you hadn't been invited. I thought it wouldn't be a good idea.
Yes, it would be a horrible thing to let slip, wouldn't it? It would be a horrible thing to do to someone under any circumstances, even if it wasn't in public.
OK, George Clooney,
Yeah.
David Beckham, Oprah Winfrey, Lee.
It is the royal wedding day today.
Yeah.
As we record this, it happened today.
Rather
It brought
lovely.
people together, didn't it?
absolutely
And you know what
lovely.
I'm glad about?
Yeah.
I'm glad he wasn't there.
And then you guys did a really good job at driving them away in no time flat. Let's see the response to that in the comments below.
Did it come through the post?
It went through my agent.
Did you have a +1 as well?
Yes, I did.
And so your wife was happy for you to come and do this instead of going to the royal wedding?
My wife couldn't go, anyway. So that was the other problem as well. Who would I take? And I did actually think of one of you two. I thought that's going to be more awkward. It's not awkward. If David's been invited, as I suspected, and Rob hasn't, I'll take Rob. There's a lot of social etiquette. I was a mess.
The wedding finished.
Well, this is the irritating
at about
thing.
1.
Yes,
and then there was a lunch.
I got the invite that said the wedding is going to be at 12 o'clock. In my head, that would mean you turn up at 12 o'clock and then you go through all the rigmarole of security, blah, 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 and actually the wedding's going to be about 2. Then you've got the actual ceremony, then you've got the meal. I appreciate you're angry.
Yeah. Very angry and very hurt and very bruised, whether this is true or not. My thought processes have gone down the lines of it being true, and it feels like I've been through it emotionally, even if I haven't.
It can't be true, but I love that David's...
I'd love it to be true, but I think it's unlikely.
I wouldn't.
This has been one of the most psychologically damaging thought experiments. And so I couldn't... I don't think I could pronounce the words, I think this is true. Oh, I just did. I'm going to say lie.
I've a horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. It's like waiting with a
turns down an
specialist
invite
for a
to a
result.
royal wedding?
If this is true, when that moment comes for both of us, it'll just be a mercy.
Look how you genuinely... Look at his look. Oh.
I pray it's a lie.
Oh, David
It is, in fact,
owning it hard.
true.
No! Oh, no way! No! Wow! Oh, David's devastated. No! Look at him! Look at him! I don't even care about Rob, but look at David.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for watching.
Actually, there's something else as well. Sorry, I've got to tell you this as well, which is quite important. This is
Oh,
a true story
please.
as well. I was lying.
Oh! Thank goodness. Oh, that's awesome to get that reaction. That's so awesome to get that reaction. That's genuinely ruined. Genuinely ruined.
It was a lie. Of course it was a lie.
Do you know what I think? I think the producers of this show are just trying to turn us against each other.
They're doing a good job. I can reveal David's team has won by 4 points to 0. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Good night.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, no, that one was definitely worth watching. Man, the genuine look on David's face when he thought Lee had actually been invited, that was awesome. It's one of the, like, I have grown so fond of David Mitchell by watching this show. I get him. I'm a less posh version of him. I get he's pedantic. He's frustrated by inaccuracy and stupid people. He rages at stupidity. He's funnier than me, obviously. He's much funnier than me. But I get him. I laugh with him, and I feel his pain in moments like that. Because, oh man. Great episode. You know, and the fact that it got robbed as well. So, wow, man. The producers on these shows must have so much fun coming up with stuff like that. So much fun. But I'm glad I got to see that one. If there's any others like this that I need to see, maybe not because of a particular guest, maybe because of a David story or a Lee story, let me know. I love this show. I'm making a good dent in it, but there's still tons of episodes to go. I'll get through however many you guys feel is necessary eventually. Thank you so much for joining me, as always. Until the next one, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.